Shall we begin?
Let's begin now.
Hi everybody, it's Doreen, and I'm back today because I wanted to talk about something that I have purchased. As many of you know, if you've been watching my Gypsy 101 tutorials, on the very first video I talked about how I was having problems with ProvoCraft. And basically it was a situation where they did an update of their software, and when I did the update I ended up losing all of the cards that I had created, or the projects that I had created from November of last year up into January. So all of those projects are no longer on my Gypsy because I had to reformat the Gypsy and then relink all my cartridges. Well, since then, that problem has been resolved with that update. However, they put another update out there for the actual Gypsy Sync software. And before I decided to do the update, I did do a backup. The backup went fine. So then I went ahead and updated the Cricut Sync software. And this software is what allows you to, when you purchase these new cartridges, and when they add cartridges, they have to go back and add those cartridges to the software. So that's why they have you do the update. It also allows you to do a backup. And I did get a request from one of my subscribers to show how you do an update. Well, I can't do that for her. And I can't do that for any of you, because when they did the last update of the Cricut Sync software, something happened that you can now no longer back up your files. At least I can't. And I've been calling about it, and I've been told that they're working on it. Well, 3 weeks have gone by and it's still not working for me. So this has caused me to be very upset, and I do love my Gypsy, I do love my Cricut, but I started thinking also that I don't like the fact that Cricut ties you down to you have to use their cartridges. You cannot use any third-party software to create your own images to cut with the Cricut or the Gypsy. So if you don't own the cartridge, you don't have the cartridge, you're basically tied. Now you can go ahead and try to design, and I have done that where I've wanted a particular image and I knew I could use my Georgian basic shapes, or I could use some part of an image to create another image and so forth. But I didn't want to be tied down. I want to be able to design my own. Or I don't want to purchase a cartridge for $20, $30, $40, because $40 is about the most I'll pay for a cartridge, if that, and only want 1 or 2 images off of there. I wanted to have the freedom of cutting my own and picking what I wanted to cut. So I decided to purchase another cutting machine. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm giving up on the Cricut or the Gypsy. They will always be my favorite, and I will continue to use them. But I have purchased something else, and I'm going to go ahead and show what that is. So everybody, meet my new cutting machine. It is a Silhouette Cameo, and for some reason when I got up today, I decided that I was going to give her a name, and I've decided to call her Erica. So everybody meet Erica. So now what I want to do is, I've already gone ahead and made my first cut using Erica. So I'm just going to go real quickly over how I got my image and put it into the Silhouette Studio Design software, and then I cut it out, and then we're going to go ahead and decorate it. So I'm gonna move the camera around so you can actually see the Silhouette Studio software that comes with the Silhouette. But what I've gone ahead and done is I went ahead and purchased the Designer Edition, because that way I can take SVG files that I find on the internet and import them into the software. You also can purchase images through the Silhouette online store, and their images run around 99¢. And also it includes, when you purchase your Silhouette, you get a $10 gift card that you can use in the Silhouette store to purchase some of the images that you may want to purchase. So what I'm going to do is, rather than make everyone dizzy, I'm going to come back once I have the camera set up in front of my computer. Okay, everybody, so what I have open here is the Silhouette Studio software, and this comes with your Silhouette, but I'm sorry, have the Silhouette Studio Designer Edition. I went ahead and purchased the Designer Edition because I wanted to be able to purchase other SVG files and import them into the software, and take any SVG files that I find on the internet that are free and go ahead and import them into the software. Now, you don't have to purchase the Designer Edition if you don't want to. You can also use the Make the Cut and the Sure Cuts a Lot software. And I had both of those previously when you were able to use them with your Cricut, but because Provocraft decided to sue Make the Cut, you can no longer use those with your Cricut. So the thing that I like about this is, with the Silhouette, you can take your images and you can just cut that one image. You don't have to buy a cartridge. You don't use cartridges. You will have to connect it to your computer, which is pretty much what you would do if you were using the Cricut Mini. But the difference is, with the Cricut, you still have to use a cartridge. And I have several cartridges, and I find that some of the cartridges, I've only cut one image off the cartridge. I like the capability of being able to create my own image and cut my own image, and I don't have to be tied down to using a cartridge. Now, the Silhouette also has an online store, and you do get a 51 images free, which are right here with the Silhouette Studio software. So you can take and pick any one of these images and cut them out. You can also go to the online store, which is this icon right here, and it opens up, and you will have to create an account, and then you can go ahead and purchase any image you want. They run, it looks like 99¢, and you can, or Silhouette also gives you, when you purchase the Silhouette, you get a $10 gift card, if I didn't say that before. So what I've done is I've gone ahead and purchased a few images and downloaded them to my library so that I have them and I can cut them later. So as you can see, there are numerous amount of images. I mean, I've gone through some of these, and there's no way I would be able to go through everything they have. And I like the fact that you can click up in here and do a search. So if I want to know if they have on the store boxes, I put in the word boxes, and these are some of the images that come up. And I really like that toolbox type thing right there. That would make a nice gift box for a mail. So, and then they have categories over here as well for you to choose from. And they have regular cut, print, and cut, because you can also do a print and cut with your Silhouette Cameo, just as you can. Like I said, you can do the same thing with the Imagine, but for a lot cheaper, and the fact that you don't have to use cartridges, I think it works out great. Now, I still will continue to use my Cricut and my Gypsy. I will be using them until they no longer work anymore. And I will continue to do videos with using both. I just wanted to have another option so that I didn't have to always depend on a cartridge. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my library, which is right here. And I did go ahead and take and purchase a couple of images using my gift card. And I've also gone ahead and created some folders so that I could separate and keep my images that I purchase or design. I can keep them organized. Now, I'm not going to go into detail on everything because I'm getting familiar with the software since I just got it. But I just wanted to show just a few things and show how I did make my first cut. And what I wanted to do for my first cut is I wanted to cut something that was intricate, because I get lots of comments and PM messages asking me, how do I get the Cricut to cut intricate images? Well, it is a trial and error, because there are times when my images come out perfect, and then there are times when they don't. I find sometimes that I need a really sticky mat, or it's the paper that I'm using. So I wanted to see what the Cameo, or as I call her, Erica, I wanted to see what she could do. So I went ahead and purchased some boxes, and I decided I wanted to cut this box right here. It's called the Box Tent Top Butterflies. So I went ahead and laid that on my mat, and I'm going to go to my mat, and here is my mat right here, and here is my image. And I just enlarged it because I wanted it to fill up from the top to the bottom of the 12 by 12 sheet of cardstock that I laid down. Now, I'm not going to go and show how to cut in future videos. I will do that, but I did want to point out these intricate image cuts right here of the butterflies. I wanted to see what Erica could do. So when I come back, I'm going to show you the actual cut file, and then we're going to decorate the file or the box. Okay, everybody, so now I am back with the cut image. So this is the image, and as you can see, it was able to cut all of those intricate images. I did not have to do anything. It went through the Silhouette, or as I call her, Erica, with no problems. Everything cut just fine. It came off the mat just fine. So now what I want to do is I want to go ahead and decorate this. And I chose to use white cardstock because I didn't want to waste some of my good cardstock in case this didn't cut the way I had hoped. And now I'm going to take my Tim Holtz Distress ink, the Seedless Preserves, which is what color? Purple. And I'm going to color my cardstock in. So let me remove that, my mat, and I'm going to take this right here, and I'm going to ink up my, oops, sorry about that, ink up my sponge, and I'm just going to go ahead and start coloring this in, or inking this in all the way. So let me do that. Oh, and I have to remember not to do that too hard. I'll break off the antennas on the butterfly. So let's do that, and then I'll come back when I've got it completely inked. So now I've got the one side inked, and I just want to add just a little bit more up here. And now what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to flip this over and I'm going to ink the other side. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a different color. So let me get that, and I'm going to ink that up, and then I'll come back. Okay, everybody, so now I am back with my boxed all ink. So for the outside, as you remember, I used the Seedless Preserves Distress Ink by Tim Holtz. And for my inside, what I did was the Mill Lavender by Tim Holtz. And then I went ahead and stamped using my Stampin' Up! Pocket Silhouette stamp set all the way around using my black Memento ink. So I've stamped it, the different flowers on the outside and the inside. And then I went ahead, and this does cut the perforation marks for the scoring, and I know some people don't like that when the Cricut does that, but I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. So I've gone ahead and scored all the way across here and at the bottom, and then on the sides along here, and then at the top. And then I've taken my tape, this is the red line tape, and put some on each of the edges. So now what we need to do is go ahead and put our box together. So what you'll do is you're going to fold this flap in and push this through there. That's the first side. And then you'll bring this one over and do the same thing. And then you're going to take these two ends and they are going to go inside like so. So basically you have your box together. So then the next thing you want to do is just go ahead and take that little tab and push that in. There's a slit there and you're going to slide that in. Now I'm finding that when I did this, that these tabs don't stay in. I don't know if there's something that I'm doing wrong. So what I'm doing to make them stay in is I'm going to just take some tape and tape the inside down. If I can get that in there, I'm just going to see if I can tape that down. It could be that I'm putting it together wrong, but after trying this several times, this is what I came up with. So then, like I said, you'll take this tab here and push that through like so. And then what you want to do, if you want to make that stay, I kind of just fold that over. I will take some, probably my glue gun, which I don't have plugged in right now, and just tape that or glue that down. Or what we can do is, why don't we take some quick dry adhesive real quick and just put some along here on the edge. And once again, it looks like my glue has clogged up. So I'm going to unclog that real quickly, and I'm going to add some glue if I can get this unclogged. I'll try that again. There we go. Well, this time it came out too fast. And I'm just going to hold that down just for a few seconds. Like so. I would use tape the next time I do this, but this is just my test one for the first one that I've done. So I think it's better to use the red line tape or your score tape rather than glue. So I'm going to hold that to make sure it's adhered, which it is. So now what we can do is we can take our tape off and start putting these together. So I'm going to peel off on that side, and we'll peel this side off. And one of these days I'll figure out how to get these off very easily too. And then, and so they don't stick to me, then what you'll do is you'll take the two and butt them together so that they meet like so. So then just do that all the way around. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to come back with the finished box. Okay, everybody, so I am back with my finished little box that I've made using the Silhouette Cameo, who I've decided to name Erica. So one thing I want to point out is when putting this together, you should probably do the top part first before you do your bottom, because I had a time once I got the bottom piece together and I glued that side piece along here, when I started closing up the tin itself, I had trouble getting them to line up properly. So I would say, because I didn't have a place to put my hand underneath to put them together, so I would say put the top tent part together first and then your bottom. So the other thing that I went and did was, you know, I had to add some bling in there somewhere. So I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but I added a little bling right there at the head of each butterfly along there. And then I took and put some ribbon in between the tent fold, and you should do that as well before you put it all together, because I had to kind of try to open that up to slide that ribbon down inside, and then I just used my glue gun to hold it together. And then I just took some Prima flowers that I had and added them, and this right here was actually a little flower boutonniere that I picked up at the dollar store. So, and it had a head pin attached to it already, and I just clipped the pin piece off of there so I wouldn't get stuck, and it came with the ribbon attached to it. And then I just took some of my clear bling and colored it in with my Bic market pens. So that's it, everybody. That's my completed little tent butterfly box. Now, the other thing that I did was, with the scraps that I had left over from the 51 images that you get free with your Silhouette Cameo, you get a cover plate for, or an image for a cover plate to put over the control panel for your Silhouette. So what I did with the scraps that were left over from the 12 by 12 piece of cardstock, I cut 2 of them out, and then I went ahead once again and used my Seedless Preserve Distress ink, and I took some stamps from a stamp set that I have that is by Creative Imaginations. The stamp set looks like this. Sorry for that glare. And I took the shoe and the word beauty, and I stamped that in, of course, purple. So I'm going to add that to Erica, and then I'll save this one for another color or a different time. I might put this one on, do this one in Christmas colors for Christmas. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye.